Shakespeare facts. William Shakespeare. Birth. William Shakespeare was born on the 23rd of April 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon and was baptised on the 26th of April 1564. Family. William Shakespeare was the third child and first son of John and Mary Shakespeare. His father was a widower, maker of leather goods, and was in the town council. Education. Went to Stratford King's Grammar School. The school taught basic reading and writing. Marriage. On the 28th of November 1582, he married Anne Hathaway of Stratford, who was 26 years old. Children. William's first child was called Susanna and was baptised in May 1583. He had two twins called Hamnet and Judith, and they were born in February 1585. Shakespeare's only son, Hamnet, died in 1596 at 11 years old. Facts. Shakespeare moved to London to write for the theatre around 1592, and by the same year was established in London as a playwright and poet. In January 1593, the London theatres closed because of the plague and remained closed until spring 1594. Shakespeare wrote lots of poetry here. Career. December 1594, Shakespeare, Will Kemp, Richard Burbage and 4 others started a theatre company called the Lord Chamberlain's Men. In 1599, this company became the most popular acting group in London. Later on, in 1603, Queen Elizabeth died and James I became king. Shakespeare changed the company name to the King's Men and became even more popular. The Globe. In 1599, the theatre, owned by James Burbage, was dismantled and was rebuilt along the Thames. It was renamed the Globe. Shakespeare became a part owner of the new theatre and became very, very wealthy. Plays. Between 1595 and 1611, William Shakespeare wrote 37 plays. His plays could be grouped into 3 categories: comedies, tragedies, and histories or chronicles. A comedy play example is A Midsummer Night's Dream. 4 Athenians run away into the forest only to have Puck, the fairy, make both the boys fall in love with the same girl. The 4 run through the forest chasing each other while Puck helps play a trick on the fairy queen. At the end, Puck reverses the magic and the 2 couples marry. Tragedy examples: Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet are supposed to be enemies, but fall in love due to their families' ongoing conflict. They cannot be together, so they kill themselves because they cannot cope with being apart. Some examples of history plays or chronicles are Henry V, Richard III, Henry VIII, and King John. King John goes to war against the French after claims that his nephew should be king instead. King John has a conflict with the church, orders his nephew's death, and turns the nobles against himself. In the end, John dies from poison, the French retreat, and his son becomes king. Shakespeare sonnets. A sonnet is a poem of 14 lines using any of a number of formal rhyme schemes, in English typically having 10 syllables per line. Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets, and they were published in 1609. Shakespeare's most famous sonnet is Sonnet 18, where he addresses a young man to whom he was very close to. Shakespeare's death. Records reveal that Shakespeare revised his will a month before he died on the 23rd of April 1616. He is buried at the Holy Trinity Church in Stratford. On his gravestone, Shakespeare wrote on his gravestone a warning to grave robbers. Good friend for Jesus state, forbear to dig the dust enclosed here. Blessed you man who spares the stones, and cursed be he that moves my bones. Some useful websites are Wikipedia, Shakespeare.org, Notes about Shakespeare, BBC Bitesize, History Extra, A Family, remember, Dictionary.com for definitions, and the Royal Shakespeare website.